Hello, everyone. It's Jeanie, and today is day 25 in our 30-day money game. And oh my gosh, this thing is just moving and grooving, and I am so grateful for you being part of this. And today we're going to put $25,000 into our account, and I'll talk about what I'm doing with that because it's pretty exciting. And I want to know what you're doing with it. Now, I had a call last night from someone, and this woman and her husband are both playing the money game. And last fall, they had a recreational vehicle that they couldn't keep up the payments on, which was fine. They didn't need it. And so it was going to be auctioned off and it was going to, be taken from them. But they still were going to be responsible for about $36,000. And they were committed to getting this paid off. But she said the most extraordinary thing happened. She said that in the money game, over this past couple of weeks, I've been paying that off and just seeing it free and clear. And she said, yesterday we went to the mailbox and we got a notice that there was a special program that paid it off for us. And we don't owe that money now. So again, this goes back to, remember a couple of weeks ago, I talked about, is it live? Is it Memorex? Is it real? Is it not real? And the truth of the matter is, in her reality of dedicating herself and himself to pay off this amount, it literally got paid off. So I just love these stories because they're true. And, I think about, I mentioned yesterday, Ask and It Is Given. It is the Teachings of Abraham by Esther and Jerry Hicks. This is like an extraordinary book that changed my life because it talks about how we are in resonance with the universe. Dr. Wayne Dyer gave the foreword, and one of the things that he said, which I haven't read the foreword in, 15 years, because I go back and look in the book, but I hadn't read the foreword, but I was reading it, and he was talking about how profound these teachings are and how it proves that we are in constant communication and resonance with our life and the world and the creative force. But he said, if you are not ready to dive into these teachings, just carry the book with you for a couple of weeks and let the resonance of that book flow out from the wisdom. And I thought, oh my God, I don't even remember reading that part. And I thought, it is true. There is a resonance to everything. So there is wisdom in this. There are emotional processes and games in the back. There is a whole idea of how we get what we're thinking about, which is true. And what they say is what we are thinking and feeling is always a match for what we are getting, even if, take a deep breath, it's unwanted. Well, I didn't want that. Well, stop thinking and feeling that way. And it really is that simple. Now, it isn't easy because we have become, pattern makers. We just continue to do things the same way that we always did, which is why I'm offering this 30-day transitional team sort of template that we can do things differently on a daily basis and focus on that which makes us feel good and which we want. Now, I'm going to share something with you that I want, and I've told friends over the years, but my focus has been for quite a while, and I have this a little bit with the Be Now, the Beautiful Network of Women. We don't have huge groups yet. We will. But I absolutely see myself standing in front of tens of thousands of people on different stages, giving talks and sharing my wisdom and my joy with people all over the world. So I'm putting it out there. I've held this. I feel it. I know it. I see what I'm wearing. I can feel the excitement, enthusiasm, the expectancy. And so I invite you to see me that way because we all have something to do. I mean, I can paint and draw a little bit. I'm not an artist. I can sing. I'm not a musician. There's just things that we do that are natural for us and that brings us a lot of joy. And me sharing in front of huge groups of people brings me a lot of joy. So I'm putting that out there and it feels really, really good. So today, $25,000. Oh, I want to tell you this. My husband and I, excuse me, I have some business partners in Dallas, and we have, over the past 10 years, worked on an organic fish farm in Panama. And through a series of events, and there was funding that went in, and, we probably collectively put in about $1 million to this. And anyhow, the funding just didn't happen at that time. But it looks like we may have funding from some people in Taipei. So we'll see. But whatever. So anyhow, I decided with the $25,000 that I'll pay for 2 round-trip tickets from Dallas-Fort Worth to Taipei, to Taiwan, first class, about $12,000, 5 nights in a first-class 5-star hotel, which is going to be, right now it's fairly cheap, so it's about $3,000. I'm also looking at travel expenses like food and, a driver, transportation and that sort of thing. It's about $5,000. We're going to pay our kennel help. We have a great guy who runs our kennel business on the weekends. So I'm going to give him a $2,000 bonus, which leaves me about $3,000. And so we have several air conditioners in our winery, and one of the main ones has gone out. So, and it's just a small one. So I'm going to invest $3,000 in that. So there we go, $25,000. So I want to invite you to think about what you are putting out on your resonance, on your belief system, on your feelings on a regular basis. Are you into your joy? Are you into your fear a little bit? Are you into your anger? And we will talk about this in the next couple of days because I think that Asking Is Given is such an extraordinary book. I would invite you to buy this book. And, but Abraham talks about the power of anger, and people don't want us to be angry. Have you noticed that? Why? And yet we get some relief out of being angry. We really do. Now, I always say that anger, if you are stuck in depression and apathy, that is the bottom of the emotional scale. Ecstasy is the top, and you cannot jump from one to the other in one fell swoop. It just doesn't work that way. So if you are in apathy and depression, sometimes one of the strongest things you can do is to get angry, because anger is very active. I like to say it is like the booster rocket that brings us past the gravitational pull of the Earth. If you have the space shuttle, you have to push it past that gravitational pull. But once you get past that and there is no more resistance, you need to jettison that booster rocket or that anger. You don't want to hold on to it because it'll just knock you off of course. But people don't want us to be angry because it threatens them, even if it's going to make us feel better. So if you're in that depression a little bit and go, I really feel pissed off about something, but I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. Why not? Just don't stay there. So you can reach for that next best thought thing. Okay, I've been really depressed and I've really been lethargic and have apathy, but I hate that feeling. It just pisses me off a little bit. Guess what? It feels a little bit better. Well, and in that anger and in that state of not wanting to be here, I can feel frustration. Okay, frustration is more active than apathy. That feels a little bit better. And then in my frustration, I can feel irritable. Irritation is a feeling. Just feel it. And then in that irritation, when I look at myself and I can see how I feel about that and why I feel about that way, then I can feel a little bit of relief. Yeah, I feel a little relief. I feel a little better about that. And in that relief, I can feel a little bit of hopefulness. And in that hopefulness, I can feel a little bit more movement. And then in that movement, I can push myself out of that anger into what is it that I want? What do I really want to feel? Because what you are feeling and talking about and thinking about is always a vibrational match to what you're getting. And that's the truth. So if you're not getting what you think you want, I want you to really look at what you're feeling, what you're talking about. Are you just playing this game? Or are you really feeling it? Are you really getting into the joy? Are you sharing this? Are you letting $36,000 show up in a magnificent way? So please share with me what's going on. We're going to dive into this a little bit tomorrow. And I've got a lot to say about this, and I really want to hear what's going on with you. Have a fabulous day. Go spend your $25,000, and we'll hit it again tomorrow. Talk to you then. Bye.